And here we go. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Back to Telesports for another awesome rugby chat tonight with Helarius Kisting from Namibia, Namibian international rugby player who's playing currently in Romania. Um, TC or Helarius, which one do you want us to address you?
Ryan, TC is actually kind of like a funny story, I think I need to explain that before we go forward.
Okay,
So
okay.
what happened was, I think after the 2011 World Cup, I think.
Yeah.
So we were playing touch rugby after school, like just with the community guys and stuff like that. So the guys were like, okay, we were the Namibian team that day, so we were like giving each other names and stuff like that. And so one of the older guys, Fabian Ralph, he said I'm TC. And back then I didn't know like TC, who's TC? Like no disrespect to TC Lost for Mara. I didn't know who's TC or where is this coming from. And
Right.
so yeah, to my surprise, I only found it out like after 2 years. I only found out like TC is actually TC Lost for
Just 2
name.
years. Oh my
After
goodness. So
two
two.
years. And,
Okay.
yeah, and that's the time I like actually went from the town I was living. I was living in like a smaller town in Namibia. Then I went to the capital, and when I started playing in the capital, like people have been asking me, "Do you know who's TC? Do you know where it comes from?" And I was like, "No, I don't know." Like the guys are calling me TC, and so yeah, they explained to me, "No, TC's name is TC Losper," and I never cared to ask the guy that gave me the name. I was just like, "Okay, yeah, let's just play."
Wow. That is
Yeah,
that is
so
funny because people could be shouting at this and you're like, hey, who's this? And in the meantime, for 2 years, only after 2 years you find it out, man. It's funny that.
yeah, yeah. So, but I
Man, but
prefer Hilarious.
otherwise, how have you been? That is
Nope.
okay. I'll
I'm
call you.
okay. I'm
Shall we go with TC for tonight? Because it's a
yeah.
funny story, but whichever is easy. Hilarious. We'll call it hilarious, yeah. So
Yeah.
so how's things been?
I've been okay. I mean, like the pandemic was a big blow, but things have been under like rolling again, especially this side. So I'm just glad we are up and running again. I mean, it was really a hard blow for us. So I'm in a good space now as a person. So I'm okay. How are you? Everything okay?
We good. We good. We just we've been so excited, man. Just want to recap as usual. A couple of weeks ago, we started with Marshall Forbes with a follow up of Chewy, and then we had Damien on last week, and then now this week, it's just building up that continuity. Just to get guys on our platform and show them how excited it is, to be able just to engage everyone and ask questions and hopefully you can share your experience as well as your story and the idea is obviously like I always say is to inspire. Everyone's got a story and that's why I love people's stories. It is powerful because
Yeah.
everyone's sitting there with buckets loads of experiences, good and bad, that can actually inspire people. And that's why, Hilarious, man, I just wanted to say once again, a massive thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and have a chat with us tonight. So I would like to also quickly say to everyone who's been following us, who's been liking all the content, the videos, who's been watching Hilarious, his highlights, in sharing it as well. Don't forget to subscribe. Like I always say, it's free. And if you ring that bell, if you subscribe, this will help us massively to keep doing what we're doing. We can't do it without you. So we would like to say thank you for that. So I hope you are well. Fasten your seatbelts and let's get going. So exciting stuff. I would like
Let's
to know
go.
first thing is what goeienaand in Southern Africa. Good evening, obviously in English. What is good evening in Romania? Have you picked up the
Romania, good.
language?
Yeah, yeah. It's Bună seara, Bună seara. no, we're evening right now, right? So it's Puna, not the.
Okay. So you're picking up
No,
the language?
yeah, no, yeah, I'm actually wrong on that one. I think it's morning is Puna Timiata, and then like midday is Puna Siara, and then evening is more like North Puna, like good night or
Puna.
stuff like that.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice. So you embracing the culture? You embracing the culture where you are?
Yeah, it's totally different from like where I'm coming from, but it's something new, something exciting, and something definitely to like learn about. I actually like it to learn about different people and different cultures and how they do things differently than what we're doing back home. So it's actually very exciting here.
Nice, man. I'm I'm always I'm always interested in, if you're in a new environment, see what the people are like, see what they like, what they don't like. Some things. One thing that I understand from being overseas, you can't come in with your mindset. You know what I mean? Like how you, yeah, but where I'm from, we do it this way. Yeah, but you're not in your own environment right now. You've got to do it this way. So that's one thing that I've quickly found out, man. And that's why I'm asking you. But here's my question. So where are you from originally? Where in Namibia? Where about in Namibia are you originally from? Could you share from the beginning? Just tell us where you're from.
Yeah, I just want to touch on your previous question, or whereby you say, when you get to certain places, you can't go like I'm from wherever. So that's the first thing when I got here. The players were like, they would go like, I would speak English, and then they wouldn't speak to me because they don't understand a little bit of English, and they would go, "Be, for best Romanians, like speak Romanian," and I'm like, you, and I'm like, no, you learn English, and then they would go, no, you are in Romania, and they would go, no, you are in Romania, so I have to learn Romanian.
Okay.
So yeah, that's right, like that's correct. Yeah. So I mean, I just have to respect the culture. I just have to respect the culture to get along with the boys.
So what about
where I am from?
What about when you're playing? Because a lot of guys, obviously, Romanian guys, how do you understand that? Like, how do you, when it's calls, and especially like in your position, it's pivotal, and it's kind of like, a lot needs to flow through you. So do you get to the point where you want to say something but it doesn't come out? You start speaking Afrikaans or something.
No,
have you find yourself in a position like that?
It happens a lot. It happens a lot. Like sometimes we use like sign language, and then if you want to say you and me, you go, let's go, whatever it is, but like the first few months here, the first few months was actually very tough. Yeah, it was very tough the first few months, but now I'm getting the hang of the language, so I understand a lot of words like left and right. Especially that's like the basic things you need to do in a game: go left, go right, and now I know a little bit of that. So I mean, with that, I have a good like a good chemistry with the team because like we understand each other.
Awesome. So you kind of like had to adapt quickly, and you had to go out of your comfort zone, just to be able to to make sure that you make this work. Obviously, the better you gel, the better the performance is all around. But thanks for sharing that. Man, like I said, man, it's so awesome to have you on our chat, man. Honestly, and it's like I said, all day I've been looking at the clock. Can't wait. You know what I mean? So we're finally here, and I was gonna ask you. Before, like, obviously in Namibia, a lot of people outside of Namibia, they're not fully, they know Namibia is Southern Africa, and I always tell them that if I say, where are you from? Namibia, where is that? Say, South Africa? Right next to South Africa, West Coast. Do you find yourself also explaining that?
like a lot. I would go, like they would first look at me and they would go, where are you from? And that's the only English word they actually know, or like some of them. And then I would say Namibia, and they would go, huh? And then I would go, South Africa, huh? And then I would say Africa, and they'll go, but that's actually, I'm not from Africa, I'm actually in a part of Africa. So, and then I would just take out my phone, go to the maps, Google Namibia, and then just show them on the map. Are you drunk?
So
Yeah, so
what about when you're explaining, right? I'm from, like, now they get it. Oh, Africa, Namibia, right. How do you explain, or have you found yourself in a position where, for instance, you in town and you want to explain where you live, like you want to get a taxi, or you want to explain, take me take me somewhere, or take me home. How do you do that?
then that's the hardest part, because like around here you can't just,
Or have you been in a situation over there like that?
yeah, you can't really just stop a taxi in the middle of nowhere. So if you want to go somewhere, you have to actually call a taxi. So if you have to call a taxi,
so like Uber.
yeah, like, so if you have to call a taxi, it's not like English. I'm here, please pick me up, blah blah blah. So it's like, what am I gonna say? So most of the time, I go like at first, I go down to the reception, and then I just ask the lady, and then I just show the taxi sign, and then I show them like this, please, the Rock, call taxi, and then they will call the taxi.
Okay, so is that's obviously effective. You find that's the easiest way to communicate. So
Yeah,
the reason why I'm asking this, I just want to put it out there for everyone that's online following us. The reason why I'm asking Helarius this is because in rugby, you've got to find a way to communicate.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
whether it's sign language or eye contact or whatever. So what I'm finding is those same communication skills, you can utilize it wherever you find yourself. And that's why this game of rugby is it's a massive part of all of us, and it's so good with all the things that you could utilize that you pick up from the game. But I was going to ask you before, Larry. So Namibia, where about in Namibia are you from, and where have you been born? And if you don't mind me asking, could you share about that?
Yeah, Ryan. I'm from a small town in Namibia, like all the way in the south. They call it the Charaga Ebes. So that's like how they call it in my native language.
So, okay.
Right. Yeah, you also know by the way, like 13 different languages and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah, my native language is Currie Cup. So
Currie Cup. Okay, Currie Cup.
Yeah.
Do you say it like that, or does it have a click? Or is it Currie Cup?
No, Currie Cup. It's Currie Cup. Like Nama is a tradition, but the language is Currie Cup.
So this is so important because right? It sounds pretty cool. Do you know that Koiba? It's on the tongue itself, on the mouth. Like the saying sounds pretty cool. Like the thing is, I embrace it because who would have thought that we have an international player all the way from down south, playing against the All Blacks, playing in the 2019 World Cup. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm asking this, because there might be more guys sitting all the way up in Katima Malilo, okay, or further down south, and thinking, I want to play for Namibia, but what am I going to do about it? What am I going to do about getting there? What is the process? What is the plan? But then they might come across this chat and hear where you're from and think, if he's done it, then maybe I can do it. So that's why I'm asking. And what's it like? What was it like growing up in that area?
Right, like at the moment, I actually kind of miss speaking my own language. Like. So I was actually hoping you could help me out here with some words. I heard you and Derla from chess, so you can speak a little bit of Currie Cup. That's what I heard from the boys.
Where? Okay. Nice. Yeah, where did you hear that?
The boys are saying, like, usually when we're on the bus trips, Daryl will share some Currie Cup words, and it can only say like 3 or 4 words, but like, I mean, that's enough to like remind me of where I'm coming from and whatever it is. So,
where you're from? Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. But growing up in a Marintal,
I can. Oh, you grew up in Marintal. Obviously, you're from a small town, but then you had to locate to Marintal. Okay, so you grew up in Marintal, and what was that like?
Yeah. born and raised in Marandal. It's actually a small town of like good bunch of people, like everyone supporting each other and stuff like that. It's actually a very nice town. It was nice growing up there. And when I made it to the World Cup, they were actually like the people that were supporting me so much. Like um, supporting me to where I am right now and being behind me and like telling me that they believe in me and stuff like that. So that was nice. Oh, that's nice from them.
Okay, okay, because I know one or two guys that's also that went to school in Marintal. When I was back at school, but no, but that's a tough place to go to. To go and play against them. It's a tough place. So yeah, like I mean, we're so used to obviously growing up in Windhoek, the capital, which is in the center of Namibia, and a lot is going through Windhoek. If you want to do something, everyone's got
Yeah,
to get to the central part of Namibia because it's such a big country. But man, it's just so good to be able to to talk to you about this because um, a lot of people don't realize that in Namibia how many 2.5 million now people in Namibia,
yeah,
which is
probably.
it's only a small amount of people playing rugby, but senior rugby, junior rugby. But man, your story, I'm just excited to get into because you know when we've had a chat offline, it was just fascinating. When we were touching on a
Yeah,
few things, and I'm that's why I'm so excited to to see and to hear what you're about to share with with everyone. The next
yeah.
question was, so you grew up now in Marintal, and you started off there. But what age did you? From what age did you start playing rugby? How old were you?
Right, I was 7 years old, so I've been growing up till seven, my grade 1 year. I just played soccer in the streets, whereby you use the bricks as the goalpost, and you lock the whole street down just for you guys to to play. So when I started playing rugby was my grade 1 year. That was 2001, 7 years old.
Right.
And the only reason I think I started playing rugby was because at the school where I went to, Daniel Bad Combined School, that's the only sport I could do is rugby. There was no football. So immediately I just adopt into the system
Okay.
of what's going on in the school. And so that's how I started playing rugby. And that's, yeah, 7 years old.
So now you've grown from what it sounds like you've grown up playing rugby. It's obviously I always say teach them when they're young. Teach them when they're young. So when they're older, they know exactly what they obviously hopefully what they know what they need to do.
What is what
Which
to
is
do.
it's yeah. So do you feel by playing rugby at such a young age has helped you to where the person help you as a person and as a rugby player today? Could you reflect on that?
Yeah, I think rugby itself is not just it's not just a sport. It has a lot to do with your behavior as a person, being a team player. That's why you want your kid to participate in any sport, any kind of sport. Because you want them to learn to share things with people. Growing up, you're spoiling your kid at home, and then now he has to go to school or whatever, then he has to like start sharing stuff and whatever it is. So rugby for me, it just shaped me differently as a person. Also,
Right.
like not just in a sports, but like as a person myself. So for me, I think rugby has like had a huge impact on my life as a person, being a better person, like the way I think about things, the way I look at scenarios and try to see things differently and stuff like that. And obviously, like being the player that I am, I guess it's because of the choice I made on an early stage, and it contributed to where I am right now.
Awesome, awesome. So that was going to be my next question also, but you've touched on it where it's like you said you collaborating. Obviously, you're talking about playing different sports. How important, like you
Yeah,
like playing football in streets. I remember growing up, we used to put markings on in the street. with football or rugby and play bare feet. And when there's a car coming, and people will shout, "Car on, car on," and then everyone will clear until the car passes, and then we crack on again. Crack on, do you know what I mean? So it's man, it's so good to hear that you're saying that, So club-wise, when we if we fast forward a bit from where you've started, and you ended up playing club rugby, right? Which club did you play for, and why did you end up playing for whichever club it was? How did that come about?
So I played for the University of Namibia in UNAM team, University of Namibia. So that was basically, right. I think, back then, there was like a huge amount of young players going to, a UNAM rugby team at that time. It was 2015, right. I think. So, and then also for me, it was more about playing under a ex-World Cup coach or World Cup coach, which was Johan Diergaard at that moment. And he was also going to UNAM, coaching at the UNAM. So it was, for me, it was, okay, young players, the big coach. So let's all go. And we're actually like motivating each other to go there, like, to gel together, like a lot of young players together. Yeah. It was actually a good environment, playing for UNAM. Yeah. A lot of young guys. We actually become brothers. It was not just the team, and we had like a lot of fun as a team and stuff like that. So we end up winning 3 championships in a row, premierships, premier games, the league, 3 years in a row, 3 seasons.
So that you saying, so you saying you became brothers? Does that mean not just on the field but off the field as well? Is that what was taking place?
Off the field, yeah.
Off the field. So a lot of times when teams are successful, you always hear guys say that, we tight, we're like brothers on and off the pitch, and it's just the same language, the same things that you're hearing. So that's probably why you were saying that. Obviously, you guys won 3 titles in a row, which is massive for Namibian rugby, club rugby. And I mean, some of the guys, I take it, some of the guys that have come through from that team environment have actually gone on and represented Namibia as well. Am I right saying so?
Yeah, more than, I think, 4 of us from that team actually represented the World Cup team last year. So, and that's whereby I say like brothers is also like whereby you have a
5 from that one, right?
Yeah. So if you have a different bond with a player off the field, you start to understand how a different, like, the teammate thinks and stuff like that. So that same energy can like be carried over onto the field, and you just understand each other better. Sometimes you don't have to. Someone doesn't have to say, or your teammate doesn't have to say anything. You just know when it's gonna do this. You have to do this. It's just like a better chemistry,
a better bond, and like you said, it's just strengthens your performance as well. It strengthens you, and to be able to push each other on then, and that's probably what's one of the secrets to the success. Coming back to you, I was going to ask you, you position wise, you can play scrum-half, you can play fly-half, fullback. So how, obviously, being able to play quite a few positions at a higher standard, it's not really that easy, if I can say that. How do you find it?
Ryan, it's actually
and also no, go on. I'll ask you in a second. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's actually very difficult because, like, the only way you get good at something is when you're like actually only focus on one position, and I'm between 3 positions, whereby I have to like one season I played 9 here. When I have to go back, I have to play 10. So it's like, I have to focus on 3 different positions. It's actually very difficult, but like I manage with it because I make time for what I'm like at my weak points and stuff like that. So it's not that bad. It's not that bad, but anywhere as long as I get selected. And like we're the saying back home, whereby Max, I think it's Max Kaziteko, whereby I say brood is brood, like, but like I don't know how to explain it in English, but brood is brood in the whenever you get a chance, just get in there and do what you
Just
can
take
do,
it.
like do your best. Yeah, and
Let's take it. Okay. No, man, I think that's the mindset. That's nothing wrong with that mindset, like because you're working hard and obviously at the end of the day you want to
yeah,
play. And when it gets to the point where you've got to play out of position, you'll take it, And the
for
reason
the
why I
team.
was asking this also was, yeah, it's for the team, isn't it? The team is bigger. Wherever you can help and contribute, let's do it. And I like that. I
Yeah,
like the fact that you're mentioning that because it shows your character. It shows, your mindset. A lot of people don't know this, but I mean, or seeing that you played fly off, at the World Cup, but you actually scrum off, and a lot goes through the 9 and 10. A lot of calls, a lot of direction. They are the general basically, running the team,
yeah,
and it's not easy. And people just expect you to know stuff when you're in there. Yeah, but you're supposed to know, but they don't realize the type
yeah,
of pressure that you're being put under sometimes. And
yeah,
if you
yeah,
have good guys around you, which you feel you can trust, then I'm pretty sure it will help with your performance. Then, am I right?
yeah.
So
Eventually,
the
eventually.
reason why I was asking is, what is your preferred position? What's your
And
preferred
I actually have
position?
to,
What would you
I
like
actually
to
have to tell,
get to pick one? What would you be focusing on? Say again.
I actually have to tell this. I actually have to tell the story before I get to that part. Is so what
Okay,
happened is I
okay.
was I was playing number nine scrummer first season at UNAM. So exactly like I think close to the end of the season, um, our fly off he got called up for a national under 20 team. That was I think it was the semifinals. And then Coach Yuan comes to me and he says, Kisting, um, I think we gotta play your 10 this weekend. And that was actually just on the Monday. And I think we're gonna play your 10 this weekend. So you just gotta. I know you can do it. I believe in you. And so I played 10 that weekend, played semifinals, played the finals 10, and then he actually talked me into playing 10, like considering playing 10. And I was like, okay, if that's what the coach thinks, I'm gonna do that. To my surprise, the next season, everyone just starts running over me because like I'm the small guy playing number 10, the flankers, all the defenders are coming down my channel. Man, that was the worst season of my life. you know. So
Oh, okay.
for that season, I actually wished I never shift positions like shift um, to number 10. So I mean, playing nine, you just have to hide at the back. Don't worry about anything. I mean, you would know.
Okay.
Playing nine, just hide at the back from all the big guys. So I wish I didn't play 10
Yeah.
back then. So, but yeah, right now I prefer number 10. Playing 10. Because I kind of like sometimes I like to be in control of stuff. Even though how tough things get or whatever. I like to spread the ball and stuff like that. So I prefer to play 10. So and then 15 is still I'm still finding my way as a fullback. So I still don't know how exactly, but I think I'll probably get there if I get more time to play on 15 as a fullback.
15. So if from experience, obviously, what I found like at
Yeah,
nine and fullback, it's kind of like the same roles, communication wise, position
yeah,
wise,
yeah.
like sliding across, organizing people. I just long time ago when I used to play, I ended up playing center, wing, fullback, fly off, scrum off. At the time, I wasn't happy doing that. I was like, "What are you? What?" But thankfully, my dad and my mom, they used to talk to me saying, "At the end of the day, just do it because it will help you in the long
Yeah,
run." And at the time, I didn't realize that. Yeah, it will help me because now one day, yeah, fast forward, I'm a coach now, and I can actually relate to the different positions
that's
and
different.
help
Yeah,
people out,
yeah,
playing in different positions, what to look for, stuff like that. So yeah, it's and you've got to exercise good character to be able to do that. It's not
yeah,
always
yeah,
the nicest thing, but team comes
definitely.
first. But thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that. I just want to take a second again, Larry, if you don't mind. Just want to say to everyone who's online, please share this link while we're still on. Like it, and man, this is such an awesome chat. Thank you also for joining us. For those of you that are on, man, this guy he's got so much energy, and I just don't want people to miss this. Like I said, Larry, thanks for once again for taking time out. I know you've got a busy schedule. To be able to come on to our chat and just share your thoughts, share your experiences, and inspire. That's why we're here. We inspire, and it's very fascinating to hear where you've been born. The fact that you actually do miss your language, man. That's your mana. That's where you're from. Do you know what I mean? That's what you do. So I bet. Do you just off topic wise? Do you communicate a lot back home with family, catch up with them? Because you've been there for even before COVID happened, isn't it?
No, I didn't go home. I didn't go home.
Am I right?
I've been here for like the whole year, almost the whole year. So it's kind of tough.
Wow.
Yeah.
Check that out. You see, I take my head off. Take my head off. I know, and you there alone. There's no, there's nobodies, and you actually there alone.
I wish I could turn the camera and show you like only close around here. So yeah, I do.
Man, that's very inspirational from my point of view.
Yeah, I do talk to my family back home. Like, yeah, I do. Like, I mean, that's one of the things like for me to keep going. Stay in touch with my family, just knowing that there's like a purpose. Like, I mean, just not give up yet.
Yeah.
There's everything behind it. So I do talk to them, but like sometimes I speak to them and I just find myself speaking Afrikaans because that's just the easier way for me. Like I'm not So yeah, I do speak to them like most of the time.
So you can speak just an interesting fact. Just an interesting fact about you. So you can speak English, you speak Afrikaans, and you speak your native language. Is there any other languages that obviously a little bit of Romanian as well? Am I right? Like maybe one or two words. That means you can speak the language. That's it. That's how I take it. Even if you can say "da," that's a language. You're speaking the language.
Yeah, it is. I'm
what? Hey?
I'm getting very sign language. Just ask me something, I'll show it to you. What do you want to know?
I'll just learn to say yes. If they ask you, how are you? Yeah, da. What's your name? Da. Everything is da. Are you hungry? Da.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In Romania, da is obviously yes, isn't it? But that's people don't. Sometimes it's good to know, to hear that you can speak quite a few, or whether it's one word, but you can you open to it by speaking different languages. But yeah, the next thing I was going to ask you, any advice for everyone watching and listening, rugby players wise, but just in life in general, any advice you would like to give them, something positive, about playing rugby? Why do you play rugby?
All I would say is like I think it's all about mindset. Stop being average. Like stop being average. And start believing in yourself. Have self-confidence. Obviously, I'm not saying being arrogant. Like there's a fine line between being confident about yourself and being arrogant. And thinking that you are the world's best player, or whatever it is. So if stay humble, and I mean, if you're good enough, you don't have to talk about yourself. People will talk about you. So
yes,
all about mindset. Stop being average and just do what you need to do and do best, and people will eventually talk about you.
True.
That's all I've got to say to the players.
Awesome. No, that's good. I like that. The fact that So sorry, go on. I was just going to add to what you were saying, but go on. You're right.
Yeah, and then sometimes like we just seek for validation from other people. Like the thought of being liked. Like you do something and then you'll be like, I was like that before also. Like I would be like, I just do something so that the coach can see I've done it. So stop seeking for validation. Right. Stop wanting to be liked. If you do something, do it for yourself, because how long you have been working to where you are right now. So if you have to always seek for validation, that's the thing. People are usually like, not everyone claps for you when you like go, if you've done something good. Not everyone goes bravo or whatever it is. So life goes on. Stop seeking for validation, and just like I said, you know yourself. You know how hard you have worked to where you are right now. So yeah, stop validate yourself, like yourself, like
Very
being
good,
you.
very good, very well said. Well said, and I agree with you
Yeah,
because if you're just looking for approval, man, people will always
yeah,
disappoint. People that
definitely.
I always say if you lean on a man, they always end up disappointing at some stage.
Yeah,
I disappoint a lot of people. You can't please everyone. You know,
yeah, definitely.
you can't please everyone, and the sooner you find that out and recognize it, the better. Because we a lot of times you end up failing because you were expecting it. Why? Because you were leaning on the fact that
Other
you're waiting
people.
for approval. So I can relate and I fully understand what you're saying. And I love the fact that you're saying that because it shows you've got a strong mind by sharing that, and that's how you see yourself, which is brilliant. And I hope people listening and you know maybe in the future if you come across this video that you can take that as well and think about it and reflect on your own lives. I'm sure people can use
Yeah,
that. But that's well said. Thanks for that. The next one, what I was going to ask you about, we've talked about, um, you were playing club rugby for UNAM, great success there, started performing, and then what happened? Got selected for the Currie Cup. How did you find that? Playing in the Currie Cup, which is probably the oldest, it's the oldest competition in South Africa. Probably one of the oldest competitions in the world, I think. Um, and you ended up playing for Welwitschias in the Currie Cup. So what was that like? If you don't mind sharing, your experience.
yeah. Right, I think it goes a long way before that. It's before the Currie Cup, the guys were playing Vodacom. I think Vodacom Cup in Namibia, and but just before the Currie Cup, I was selected for the national 17 to go to Hong Kong for HSBC world qualifiers, circuit qualifying.
Wow.
So
So you actually
and
played
that
in the Hong Kong Sevens. That is
yeah,
that where
HSBC,
you think?
yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
that's amazing. Okay.
yeah. So that's whereby sometimes when you watch other players play on TV, you're like, yo, that guy's big, yo, he's fast, yo, and like you just think like you're from this small
Yeah.
country and we will never match those guys and whatever it is. So making it to the HSBC, it was like, playing against those guys was like, yo, starting believing in ourselves. We need to actually start believing in ourselves. Like we undermine ourselves, we have the
True.
talent. Maybe we just didn't have the facilities back then, but yeah, like that energy coming into the Currie Cup was totally like an amazing environment for me. It was
Yeah,
like
can
it
imagine.
felt like yeah, like it was like totally. It was like when I got into the Currie Cup, it was more like as if I'm like learning rugby from like all over again. It was the things were different. The way things were the way the coaches were doing things were different. So for me, like at club rugby and school rugby, I didn't know about box kicks. We were just about the flair, flair and chip and chase.
Namibian
That's
flair.
all we did. Like, yeah, it's all about the flair and chip and chase and stuff like that. And there's actually one guy I have to thank is Eugene Yanchi. He's one of the senior players, and he had the patience to actually show me or like to teach me how to do the box like probably and stuff like that. And that's one of the things I'm
Mm,
grateful to him is that for having the patience
mm,
to actually learn how to do it and all that. So and during the process of the Currie Cup, I've learned a lot as a player from Len Jones,
mm.
um, which is the current national Russian team, Russian coach. So I've learned a lot from. So
Mm,
it was a good
National
environment.
coach,
I
yeah.
really enjoyed it. Yeah, and also the competition.
Very good. Very
Competition makes
good.
you good.
No,
So yeah,
yeah,
in the
yeah.
Currie Cup
Oh, you
setup,
mean competition amongst the, you mean among in the squad,
yeah, in the
competition in the
squad.
squad, is that what you say? Ah, right. Yeah, and why do you say that? Why do you say it actually? it's good to have that inner competition amongst each other. Why
I think
do you reckon that's good?
we push each other as players, as team players, Obviously, when I joined the squad, there was already experienced players in the squad, so I was more about proving myself to be like, I deserve to be here. So that's kind of like earning respect into the team, So we actually push each other and stuff like that to greater heights, for you to be a greater player. And it's not like competition like break each other down, but like positive competition, whereby you would go like, yo, okay, Eugene can run how many Broncos? I have to, I have to run faster, I have to run longer or whatever it is, So it's actually good to have a healthy competition amongst the squad.
Because it can obviously improve the performance. The purpose is different. You want to fight for a starting spot, and if you get your foot in the door by sitting or as a run on or a finisher or on the bench, then you want to prove something, don't you? And if you're not in the match day 23 or 22, then you want to prove something, obviously in training, and that's why the purpose is different. But thanks for for touching on that. I appreciate it because obviously it's not always easy, isn't it? It's not always easy just to be the guy to support everyone. It's also not easy being the one in the driving seat because everyone is trying to take your shirt. So yeah, it's both ways, man. And tell us, about. I was just gonna say, I'm sure everyone's used to goals, setting goals, trying to reach your goals. What is goal setting? How important is goal setting for you? Could you share that with us? Just in general,
Ryan,
like
goal setting
how
is
do you
actually,
deal with it?
yeah, goal setting is very important. Like as a person, like you need to set your goals. For me, it gives me some kind of direction and purpose in life. Like I know where I'm going, in life and stuff like that. So I can remember, growing up as a child, I always told myself, I want to play for the national team and I want to play abroad. And all my energy and all my, my focus was just on achieving that goal. And it was like nothing can stop me from achieving that. So for me, goal setting is, even if it's short term goals, ticking small boxes like day to day, week to week in and out, yearly goals. So goal setting is key to give you some kind of direction and purpose, like where you're going and what you're about. So it just somehow it gives you the chance to refocus when you're lost. When you're lost in between, you're gonna go like, okay, but what was my goal initially? Why am I here? Where I am? Like, what do I need to do to get there? Obviously, you cannot just jump up and get your goals. You have to follow certain paths
Yeah.
and places and things and whatever it is to get where you need to be.
Nice. Well said. Well said. I always, like I said, the reason why I'm asking that, when you share something, there might be one thing that I can learn from you that can make a big difference in my path. Does that make sense? Wherever I find myself.
Yeah.
And that's why, I always ask questions. Man, I love asking questions. Do you know that I used to not talk a lot? And people think, oh, he's quiet. And now I'm on this platform, I can't keep quiet. You know what I mean?
You just want
When
to
I grew
speak,
up, I was really confident. Yeah.
speak your
When I
mind.
grew up, I was really confident, right? Really
Yeah.
confident, maybe too confident. And then you go from certain environments to the next environments, and you get setbacks, and it starts it starts shaping you and molding you, and you go through different, like you said, you go through different stages, and eventually you come to a point where you set goals, and once you set your goals, you just nothing can move you, nothing can move you, and that's why I ask you that question, and it's very good that what you've said about it. So knowing that if you're off track, how far are you off? Where's your north? Where's your magnetic north? And it will help you
Yeah.
bring yourself back on the line. Pretty cool that. So next one. So with goal setting, it's all good, positive, negatives. How do you deal with setbacks? How do you deal with setbacks? What do you do?
Well, that's actually a tough one. Like when you have a setback in your life, but I think usually I'm kind of like a passive person. Like initially, I'm a passive person. So whereby everything goes wrong around me, I kind of like hide away. I just shy away and I just wait for everything to play out like it needs to be or whatever. I don't. Like I said, I'm trying to grow out of it. So now now that I've like certain setbacks in life, like I pulled my hamstring last week, and for me that
Right.
was like, yo, I've come this far. Earlier I just wanted to have a good season, and now I'm pulling my hamstring. How am I gonna survive? How I'm gonna do this? And the thing, like one training we had during the World Cup was we had this mental toughness training whereby you switch from red to blue. Red is like the zone you don't want to be in, and blue is the zone you want to be in, like mentally. So I pulled my
Mm.
hamstring, and okay, and I was like, I can't go in a depression mode or feeling sorry for myself for what
Mm.
happened now, but I just gonna think about, okay, next, let's move on. Like how am I gonna get better? It doesn't help me getting injured, getting up, go out, get drunk. It's just gonna slow the whole
Mm.
process down of like
Mm.
recovering as a player. So what
Mm.
can I do? So I focus on the positives, like what can I do to get better soon enough to be ready to be selected again. So that's what I like try to do, is like just face things head on, like not try to shy away and wait and
Mm.
wait. Eventually, if you um when you postpone something and stuff like that, it just it's not going away. It's not going away. You have to eventually face it sometime. So you just gotta I just face it head on and just take care of the matter immediately and then move on.
That's pretty cool. And the fact that you've mentioned you don't want to feel sorry for yourself, man, that's powerful. So about the blue and the red, you picked that up from being in the World Cup squad. That is that
Yeah,
is that
that
the type
was
of things
yeah
that
that
you guys
that's
got exposed to,
when
and you feel that
yeah.
now. Hmm? Sorry, I was going to say you feel that because you've learned what you've learned that you can still utilize that going forward. So is that so just explain to everyone briefly what did you mean exactly by red and blue? Because some people might wonder what am I what do you mean? So I know what you're talking about, but if you just want to touch on that for
Yeah,
a
so
couple of minutes, if you don't mind.
yeah, the thing is, like as a rugby player, nothing is just going like perfectly, nothing is just going smoothly and whatever it is. So like wherever you face a situation in life, like you face a problem or whatever it is. So like a red area is the area whereby are not you're not focused on your purpose, like on what you're supposed to do and stuff like that. And the blue area is the area whereby you want to be in control of your emotions. So that's just basically the blue. Like being in a red side doesn't
Right.
mean you don't have feelings. You don't have feelings as a person. So if you're on a red side, you just think about the negatives. You're just like, this is that. Like the problem is just gonna be on your mind all the time. It makes you it makes you lose your
Mm,
focus.
mm,
So like by that, I don't mean,
mm.
or it doesn't mean like a red and blue system doesn't mean like you have to forget about your problem. Like let's say you have money problems. It doesn't mean you have to forget about your money problems immediately or at that moment. But it
Mhm,
just means like cutting that problem out at the moment and just
mm.
focused on your purpose at the moment. So let's say you have a game this Saturday. So you have money problem, like you just wanna put that aside for a moment, you know, not bearing it, just put it aside, forget about it for a little bit, and just
Yeah,
focus, keep your mind or focused on like, control your emotions and focused on what's gonna happen this weekend. And after the game you can
right.
eventually look back into it and see how you can solve that and whatever. So obviously you cannot you are human, like all of us are human, so you cannot forget it.
True,
But
true,
just like
true.
that's just about you having control of your emotions and how you can face situation. It's the same in a game. When you make a
Mhm.
knock on, you are like, I make a knock. I made a knock on. What am I gonna do now? This looks bad. But instead of going, what am I gonna do? Just go next job, next job. You know, next job. Let's
Next
move
job.
on. Let's move on. And that's the mistake we do. If you miss a tackle, you are just like your head is down. You're focused on the tackle that you missed.
Mm,
But I mean,
mm.
missed one tackle and make five tackles. It goes
Yeah,
on, you know, and
that's the idea.
that's a small margins in a game, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whereby your head is down and you don't know. You look up the scores like 50-0, and you're like, yo, 30 minutes, and I've only been in the game for 20 minutes because you have been thinking about the mistake you have made for 10 minutes, you know.
And that's a good example of in the I'm just going to quickly touch on when you played against the All Blacks in 2019 Rugby World Cup. This try that's part of like on this top 10 tries in the World Cup, for instance, where TJ Paranara scored in the corner. People don't realize you were tracking. You were tracking from far out before that and end up still trying to make that tackle. And that's quite deep into the game. You know, where you eventually scored the try in the corner, but you ended up I'm looking at the effort. Yeah, people are like, oh, that's a class try. Champagne rugby, but I'm looking at the effort for you, and I think it was
Orbit,
the hooker, who actually tried to stop him there, but then you ended up obviously trying, to put a shoulder in and push him out, tackle him out. But I'm looking at the effort that was put in, to be able to get there, which was brilliant. And not thinking about the scoreboard. Oh, I don't know anymore type of thing. Feeling sorry for yourself, but think about what can you control. What can I control?
Definitely.
A lot of times people focus on what they can't control. I always say, can you do something about it physically right now? Yes, then do it.
Yeah.
If you can't, don't worry about it.
Let it go.
Do you know what I mean? There's this method that I used to talk about. You can see the clouds, right? But you can't touch them. You can see your thoughts, but you can't touch them. So if you see the clouds, just let it be. Same with the worries, the mindset, let it be. Focus on the next thing. But that's fantastic that you're sharing that. Thanks for taking time out to tell us and a bit of a breakdown on the blue and the red. The next thing I was going to ask you, so finally, from Welwitschias, the Currie Cup side, then you end up getting a call-up. Boom, World Cup 2019. What was that like? Knowing you've played rugby 7 years old, now you being an international player for your country. Man, that feeling, man. Do you know what I mean? Do you mind sharing what was that like in that period when you found out you got a call up to the squad?
Well, I don't know. This is actually like a emotional journey. The thing is, like, I joined the national team. I think 2017, and then 2018 I was in the national setup, but I didn't play at all. Like, I was just in a camp and stuff like that. Right. And so like, as a player, that's tough, not getting selected and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking negatively, and I'm just like, yo, am I good enough, or like, what's happening here? And back then I just told myself, like, I have a choice. Like, I mean, it's only 2018, 2017, 18 now. So I have a year to make up to my weaknesses or whatever it is, So I can either spend the rest of the months complaining that I'm not getting selected, or I can actually do something about it. Like, like work at, the thing is, the coaches, they select guys they see is good for the team, So it's all about me, showing him or giving him a reason to select me, So instead of complaining, I just started working. I was always like, the coach doesn't like me, playing the blame shift and stuff like that. But it doesn't help. Sometimes we end up like blaming the coaches, but we don't look into each other. Like, what am I doing wrong as a player? What am I doing wrong? What can I do for the coach to notice me, or for the coach to see me? Give me a chance. And that, like, I got my chance to play, and I just didn't take the chances I got. But building up to the World Cup, man, it was really emotional. Like, I can remember that night before they announced the squad, I couldn't sleep at all. Like, I wasn't even thinking about, am I gonna play in the World Cup? What's gonna happen? I was just living the moment. I couldn't sleep that night. Getting selected, and I was like, yo, going to the World Cup. yo, what's gonna happen? What am I gonna expect? You know?
Awesome. It's a feeling,
Yeah,
eh?
and then
What a
yo,
feeling.
getting to the World Cup, like Japan was like amazing, you know. And when I got to the World Cup, I never thought like people were gonna like look up to me, you know.
Mm,
Especially the young
mm,
guys, you know, look up to
mm.
me and think, yo, this guy, you know, this guy's inspirational or whatever it is. And then I was just like, yo, I actually have a, like, this is me, this is having a purpose, you know, like giving back to people, like just proving a point here and stuff like, you know. And that was it. Actually, it was a game changer for me in life as a rugby player too, you know,
Mhm.
like, you know, wanting to do
Yeah.
more, be better as a person, as a player, and just, yeah, be inspirational.
Did it make you more confident? Did it make you more confident realizing, right, I'm here
Yeah.
now? Did you feel that you were a lot more confident, or how did you, like, I know you're saying that obviously being in Japan, it's surreal. You always see it over there. It's
Yeah.
before you get to that point, it's just over there. Now suddenly over there has become over here. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you're in it, right? So do you feel like, what? I'm actually a little bit more confident now, or what? What would you say on that?
Well, I would say more like, you know, dreams do come true. Like more like dreams
Mhm.
really do come true if you work for it, you know, and you like
Right, right.
work till you meet your role models, your or heroes or whatever it is. So it wasn't like I didn't like without like playing, like I didn't feel anything like, you know, I'm confident, I'm where I am. I didn't think like I'm better than the guys that didn't get selected or whatever it is. I was just thinking, yo, I've got this huge opportunity to actually make something of this. So if I mess it up, I'm just gonna be like, yo, I didn't deserve this and stuff like that. So I was just still overwhelmed and just like trying to figure myself out, like how's this gonna play out, you know? And I
Mm.
wish I didn't like think that much. Like I'm an overthinker, I'm a Capricorn, so I think a lot. So and then just live the moment, you know. I wish I just lived in the moment because like it's just such a short period of time and then everything is just over and then boom, you have to wait for another 4 years.
So you would say, so what you're saying is, if you had that opportunity again, you would actually embrace it a little bit more in terms of being in the moment, being in the present, not
Yeah,
overthink things too much. Like you said, you wait 4 years, and when it comes, it's gone. Can you believe
just like that.
it's a year? Last year, this time you were running around chasing the All Blacks. A
Yeah,
year
it
ago.
is.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Where's it gone? You know. So I hear what you're saying, and it makes sense. Like when you finally get to where you wanted to be, enjoy it. Enjoy it, because when you reflect, it's all about that process, isn't it? But it goes quickly.
Yeah.
Next one would be the way I'm looking down, and I apologize. I'm just looking at what I remember of what I wanted to ask you. So you've played now. Obviously, you've been selected, playing in the World Cup, and you get a start, number 10, a fly off for Namibia against the All Blacks. Talk us through that whole week leading up to the game, during the pre-game meal, match meal. I don't know what the whole experience, whatever you can remember. What was the haka like? Because a lot of people have these questions. If it was me, I'll be doing this and I'll be doing that. So what were you doing when you found out? Right, I'm gonna start.
And I like when like I think the Saturday Cleven got injured and
Mhm.
after the game I went to him like immediately and I was like, yo bro, how are you doing? Are you okay? You know? And like a huge part of me actually wished like he didn't get injured. Because like, you know, I think I wasn't like I think that's all about preparation, like me as a player. I don't think I was well prepared to like actually start on 10, you
Right,
know. So a huge part
right.
of me was like, yo, this guy can be injured, you know, like I mean the team needs you and Cleven is actually a very good player, you know, so the team needs
Yeah.
you, bro. You need to get better, you know. Just
Mm.
stay chilled and then probably by Thursday you'll be okay and then you can start or whatever it is. But like me and Cleven, like we play the same position but we have a good chemistry, you know, and
Mm.
and Cleven
Mm.
was like, bro, you don't have to worry about anything. I mean, you come this far, and you just gotta do your best and just play your part. You know, you're gonna be okay and stuff like that. And for me, that was really something huge. You know, like, I mean, we've been competing for the same position, but he turns around and tells me like, I'm gonna be okay, and you
Yeah,
know, I'm
yeah.
just gonna be fine. I don't have to stress about it and stuff like that. And building up to the game, he helped me a lot actually. You know, talk to me, telling me like, you know, and he's actually younger than me. And for me, like, it doesn't matter how old you are or whatever. It's like I'm willing to listen. Like I'm willing to learn. You
Yeah,
know, if
yeah,
you have something good to say,
yeah,
yeah, if something good to tell me or like help me,
yeah.
I'm willing to listen. And I was listening to him and he
It's
was giving
because
me
you're a nice
advice.
guy.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I'm being
I'm
serious. It's
glad
because
he
you're a
actually
nice
helped
guy.
me a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he helped me a lot, like building up to the game. And the same with the coaches, like Mark Jones, our attacking coach. We went on regular coffee chats
Mhm.
and tea chats and stuff like that. And you know, like I said, like it's all about preparation. And I blame myself for that. You know, not being prepared. And when you're not prepared, when you
Right.
come to like a big game like that, you as a player, you go, yo, I should have done 10 more squats. I should have done 10 more laps. I should have done, you know, and
That was fun.
you're just like in a whole panic mode. And the one thing that Mark told me that week is like, you know, Kisting, like you have done the work. You need to you need to be like, you've done the work. You know, there's nothing you can do now. So I just gotta be easy. You know, I'm prepared. I'm ready. I'm gonna be fine. So I just have to focus on what I need to do in the
Mm.
game, and he just expects nothing less than my best. So I should come off that field and know like I've done my best, and there's nothing I can do about it. And for me, that was the best advice that I could ever get from the coach. And
Mm.
I mean,
Mm.
by Wednesday, I was feeling okay. I was like, okay, this is my number 10 this weekend. So the boys need me. I gotta step up. I gotta step up. So yeah, I from Wednesday I just started making like more time for the family, chats with the family, try to ease my mind, like going up to the game and stuff like that. And with the haka, you know, coming from Namibia,
Mm.
like I especially like before games, I used to watch the haka, like watching the guys play, how they do it, and how's things going, and like, you know, it just like give me this kind of
Mm.
adrenaline when I go into the game, like, you know, growing up as a
Mm.
child. And when I was actually like standing
Yeah.
in of the haka, I was like, yo, this is big, this is big, and I couldn't like, no disrespect to the All Blacks, but I didn't look at her. I didn't look at her haka. I
Yeah.
was I was looking up to the sky, and immediately I started praying, and I was saying like, dear God, you know how I've been
Okay.
working for this, and I'm here. Yeah, I'm here
Uh,
right now, and I need
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I just want to give my
Yeah.
best because you know what I've been doing this far to get where I
Mm.
am. And haka is over, and that 80 minutes was actually very fast. Eh? It was like, yo, I wish I could have played longer actually.
Okay. Because like obviously before the game, there's so much going on, isn't it? But it's so hard to in the beginning stages, but later you obviously get used to it. Just to be in the moment to
Yeah.
get yourself ready. So now you're on the field, they're about to do the haka. You've waited how long? And then you end up not even looking at them. I'll just, I'll just, I'll rather pray. Do you know what I mean? But it's like,
Yeah.
faith, faith, you had that faith. And I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree, your performance, right, on in that match was exceptional. And I'm not just saying this. I'm being serious because you had a go at them. You were attacking them. Do you know what I mean? You could have easily just stick with the process at times because you want to run the show. But you actually had a go at them a few times, which was good to see because it showed that confidence. Whether it was instinct or you meant that with a break and then an offload, man, this great vision. You were actually attacking the All Blacks. And I think that's the mindset. You've got to have that type of mindset to attack them. You know what I mean? Which you did, I'm sure a lot of people will agree. Obviously, you get people that might not agree, but we don't care. I'm talking about about what I see. You did really well in that game. I'm telling you. Knowing what you had to deal with, thinking, will I get a game? But I'm here. It's all good, and suddenly I'm starting against the All Blacks, man. Head off. You know what I mean? Well done for that performance. Honestly,
Thank
you can honestly you can be proud of that. On that day, you guys as a team, you did really well. I said to Damien as well, to Tui, to Marshall. The reason why we're focusing so much on that game is because they were the defending champions at the time, and to play the number one team in the world, man, not everyone gets that opportunity. And you've done it. You've done it. You've done it.
Say again? I think the senior players actually played a great part in this, because like they were the guys that were like reminding us that like they have been there, and like it's not as hard as it seems. Like we can manage this. We can Tui and Daryl and those guys coming up to me and say, "Yo, TC, you're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be okay." And it was just the whole team spirit that whole week, like everyone just like fired up, like we just wanted to give it a go, and like I mean everyone could have seen it in the first half, and we were like, "Yo, we're in this," but so the All Blacks are full of surprises, so second half was totally different.
What was it? Did you feel it was a quick game? Was it really quick? Was it what you expected it would be, or was it worse, or like was it good, or what? What's your thoughts on that?
It was a fast game. like really it was fast. Like it's like we're giving a go and they're giving a go, and next moment you have to where's the ball, and then and and luckily we had like the best conditioning coaches, like getting us into that physical position whereby we have to react fast, and Sergio De La Harpe and Procky. So we had the good preparation going, like building up to the World Cup. So that helped us a lot, like matching them physically and like the pace of the game and stuff like that. So, but it was actually quite fast, to be honest.
So the thing is, we had to, we on the other side watching on TV, we also had to be fit just to keep up with the game. It was such a quick game. It's like you can't look away.
Yeah.
We had to be fit as well just to keep up. I'm telling you, it was a quick game. It's very exciting. Very exciting. So the next one, I just have a few questions here. Like another question from Sergio saying, did you represent Namibia as a junior, like at under 13, under 16, under 18, under 20s? Did you play for Namibia at that junior levels?
No, I didn't. The furthest I've been is by under 13 year. I've just been to the national trials for my region, Hardap region. I represent Hardap region at the national trials, and that's it. And then I didn't play any national games.
No junior, no representative, nothing, and then you end up playing in the World Cup 2019. Check that out. Love it. That's why we do what we do. That's why we do what we do. Never ever give up.
I think it's all about. Yeah, I mean, like it's the whole system, like the whole system. That's like actually the guys in the south, far south, and far north are kind of like this advantage. But I think it's all about after school what you do with it. Like you wanna go, you wanna give it a go, you wanna see how far you can get or whatever. I just never gave up on my dreams. Like I kept going. I mean, I got my goal, and I had my goal set, and I just knew where I wanted to be, and that kept me going.
Fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. Massive respect, my brother, man. Massive respect. I mean it. Because you could have easily just thought, I'm just going to play club rugby. I've won 3 titles and it's all good. But you were hungry, and you're still hungry. You've even taken a step further. You want to go overseas, and you were there for a whole year. No family, no friends. Right? With everything going on, you're still there. And I can only say I wish you all the best, my brother. I wish you all the best, that more doors will open up. As soon as all this will blow over, who knows? More, I'm pretty sure more doors are going to open up. That leads me to one of the questions that was asked on Instagram. Someone asked, "What team would you like to play in the for in the future, or what league? Where do you see yourself in the future? If it's not in Romania, if I may, I don't want to obviously put you on a spot, but this is questions that have been asked. You know, or what
Yeah,
team
like
representative wise?
yeah, which team would I love to play for? Like, you know, like
Yeah,
I know this might sound like unrealistic or whatever it is, but like ever since like after the World Cup, I've been dreaming about playing for the Crusaders. And like that's
Crusaders
just,
of
yeah,
New Zealand. Yeah, it's
in
pretty
New
awesome,
Zealand, yeah,
man.
that's just been
Cool.
on my mind. It's just like it would be amazing to play down there, you know. I like the kind of rugby they're playing, and it's just New Zealand players are just bunch of good players, like humble, and you know,
Uh-huh.
I'll just be able to find my way around there, you know. And if I could make it, that would be amazing. But I mean, I can't just get there. It's gonna cost a
You know
lot.
what?
It's gonna cost a lot of hard work.
Nothing is impossible. Nothing
Yeah,
is impossible. You know, a lot of guys are looking at Europe. They want to come over to Europe and they want to play in England, and uh, I've not heard of a lot of guys saying, "I want to play in New Zealand for one of the franchises." Um, if people say, that's impossible," that's exactly why you want to do it, because it's impossible.
yeah,
And I'm pretty sure if you put your mind to it, the opportunities will come. You don't. It might not seem like it, but I like that thought. I like that idea. You know, and if you have your plan and you stick with it, someone knows someone that knows someone,
yeah.
right? One day you get a phone call on the plane to New Zealand. How did that come about? How? You're
What's
speaking
happening?
it out. You're giving it life. You've got your plan.
Yeah,
Yeah. How? What? Yeah. I'm saying, like, I'm encouraging you. Keep dreaming, because it can become a reality. A lot of people say, when you want to do something and it's too big, I don't think so. Check this out. Just in short, right? This is not about me. It's about you. I just want
yeah,
to encourage you by telling you this short story. When I was young, right, I I saw South Africa play England. I was about 8 years old. South Africa was playing England outside of South Africa for the first time because of apartheid. Now, how many people are Springbok fans, right? A lot. Where we from, right? I
yeah,
saw green, green, green grass, overcast, raining. Springboks playing against England. They're busy building Twickenham or rebuilding it all. I've never seen England, and they've got white jerseys on. They're full of mud, and it's just the crowd. And I'm watching on TV, man. I was so fascinated, and I thought, I'm gonna go there one day. I'm gonna play there. I'm gonna play for England. That's what my thought was. I want to go and play in England or for England. I just had that, and they
yeah.
never went away. It never went away. Now, let's check this out. They played 7 times at Twickenham. And every year at the year, you'll never get there. It's impossible. You were born in the desert in Walvis Bay. How it's impossible, especially where I'm from. At
Yeah.
that time, it was difficult to think like that. Laughed at, you know. So that's what I'm saying to you. I would, man, I would love to see you play for the Crusaders one day. And even if you don't get there, keep trying. You know what I mean? Keep trying. I just thought I wanted to share that for encouragement. But man, I'm
Thank
having
you so
so
much,
much
brother.
fun. I hope you feel the
Yeah, it is. It is. I
same,
mean,
guys. I hope everyone who's online. I hope you guys are, what you're experiencing here. Yeah, man. Hey, it's just I feel encouraged. Just hearing the fact that where you've where you've been and where you are now and what you're doing. But that leads me to the next one. So, is there any role models or coaches that you feel? I know you've mentioned Learn and Johan, but is there any other role models that you feel that played a massive role in part of your development as a young guy, and then as you're growing up playing rugby?
I think I can't like exactly like point out something because like at different levels of my career, I like different coaches, and like I think all of them like contributed like a different
Mm,
part to me of where I am right now. Currie Cup was Learn, UNAM it was Yuan, and then um, into the national team it was Phil Davis. And the thing is like, but of them three, the one that's like really been the one standing out is Johan Diergaard. The reason being is like Yuan was literally like a father figure for the whole UNAM squad, and we were all looking up to him with that respect, not as just a coach, but as a father too. And I can remember during the pandemic, I had a mental breakdown. Like I don't really want to talk about this, but like I don't mind sharing too.
Yeah.
I had a mental breakdown. I mean, like I was just thinking, yo, there's no more rugby. You know, rugby's my job. There's no more rugby. What am I gonna do? I'm feeling less of a man. I cannot provide my family. Salary cuts. Like nothing is going on, and I had like suicidal thoughts. Like it was like really hard on me. And he was one of the first people I could like vent to, and like I called him and I talked to him, and he was there for me and was talking to me and stuff like that. And I can remember during the time he was also hospitalized, and I didn't know about it. And after I
Yeah.
think after the
Yeah.
hospital, he called me and he's like, "Yo, TC, how are you doing? What's good? Like, how are you coping?" And I'm saying, "No, coach, I'm good. How are you?" And I'm asking him, "How's he doing?" He's like, "No, he's just getting out of the hospital. He's in the hospital for something." I'm like, "Yo, like, I'm actually the one that should be asking you, like, how are you doing? You've been in the hospital and you're asking me, how am I?" And it's just one thing I will always be grateful to, that I can always like I can call him anytime, and I can be able to talk to him and talk to him about any problem or anything or whatever it is.
Yeah. That's good. That's really good that you've got someone that you can talk to and that can listen. That's very important. Johan. Obviously, Johan is he's the current of at the moment. Obviously, he's back involved with Namibia again, which is obviously it's great news for Namibia. Having a local coach. I know Johan for a very long time. I don't know if you know that. I know Johan like
Yeah,
I'm talking about like a very very long time. So I know I know what he's about. Um, And like I said, if it's good that you know that if he's calling you or out of the blue at the right time as well. So
yeah,
just because some guys people think, oh, they're rugby players, they're strong and they know what they're doing. That doesn't mean that you're not challenged mentally as well. So mental health, as um, coming just to touch on the suicide wise in England, it's gone through the roof. Because of what's going on. And that's why I would like to encourage everyone who's online. Make sure you've got someone that you can talk to. Make sure you've got someone that if you can. They don't even have to talk back. They can just listen. Like what Larry was saying. He had that phone call, which made a big difference. And now we're sitting here having a chat with him. He's sharing his dreams, and that's why we do it. To get him saying, that's why we do what we do, to encourage people to do the right thing.
yeah,
It doesn't cost anything. It's just do the right thing. Do you know what I mean? But thank you for opening up on that. We appreciate it. We've been having fun. We're having a laugh, but also on a serious note. We keep
yeah,
on going. Does that make sense? But
yeah.
so the next thing what I was gonna ask is when you are not playing, right? So you've got no game. What do you do for fun? What do you have you seen a bit of Romania where you are, or in general, when you play for Namibia, or back when you used to play club rugby in Namibia? What do you like to do for fun?
Usually when I'm back home, when I have free time, I try to make like time for the family. Just like I have a son, so if I have off,
Okay.
I try to spend time with him, go do
Yeah.
things, go to the park, run a little bit. Like he's full of energy, so I literally need that day off just to have time for him. But around here, we usually go for coffees and go to places to eat and stuff like that. The thing is about Romania, it's actually like it's big, like this, like the towns are like like huge distances apart. So you can't just go on an off day, like on a Wednesday, and just go have fun and come back or whatever it is. So, but like we usually go
I
for
see.
coffee and stuff like that. But I actually want to go to Transylvania, the castle, the Dracula's castle.
Okay. Okay. To go and
Yeah, yeah, I
explore.
wanna like if we have like more time off,
Okay.
yeah, I want to do that
Right.
like sometime still before this year end even. So
Have you tried any skiing? Have you tried any
skiing,
skiing
no, no, no,
skiing
no.
when it was snowing in
During
the
this
areas where? Yeah.
During the snow season, I'm
You know,
usually home, like which
um,
is summer back home.
you back home because it gets cold there as
Yeah,
well,
so
isn't it? In Romania, it gets really cold
I'm
there.
not ready
Yeah,
for that.
but obviously, I like to try different things. I like surfing.
Yeah.
I've tried it. I like adventure stuff as well. But I've seen some photos of you when you went hiking, or was it you went for barbecues? Do they like barbecues?
Oh
Because where we're
yeah,
from, we like to braai, right? Like I seen. Do they do the same thing? Where you at?
yeah. We went for like so it was before the season start. We went for like a camp as a team, like more like a team bonding kind of thing. So the coach was like, "Come on, boys, let's go on a camp for 3 days." And it was just basically drinking and jokes and stuff like that. Yo, it was massive. It was massive. So we went for camp. It was actually nice. Like
A bit of
I
bonding.
think I think what like it changed us as a team also, like what we did, like having a camp as a team. Being in each other's face for like 2 days.
Yeah.
It changed us
So
as a
your
team.
team, what's what's your team called? What's your team called where you playing in Romania?
CSM Bayamare.
Ayamare. Okay. And you've got how many
Yeah.
teams do you have in your league?
Sorry.
How many teams are in your league? In
We
it's
were
obviously the
about
Premiership in Romania.
yeah, we were about 8 teams last season, and now
Like,
big heat, pandemic, no funds and stuff
yeah,
like that. So we're only 6 teams in the league now.
6 teams. Right, right. I've seen that you
Yeah.
guys have won a cup. Could you share a few minutes on what that was all about? This is this huge cup that it looked like you guys won a cup. Was it part of the league, or was it just a cup games?
Yeah, that was part of the championship. So basically, we played few games before the pandemic happened, which was like last year. The season starts September here. So we played few
Hmm.
games, and then I mean we had to play a few more games in this year, but like the pandemic
Hmm.
happened, and so we didn't play games. So what they did was like when the season started, or like when the rugby was approved to like start again, what they did was like they just like trying to end last season and then start with the new one.
Mm.
So yeah, that's us winning the league of last season, basically coming into this year.
All right. So
Yeah,
that's a bit of success and a positive. That's a bit
yeah,
of
it is.
I take it that's a massive positive because obviously it's been tough here, and to come away with the championship, it's pretty special. Then I take it. Um, also, I know I've been keeping you and I've been asking questions, but there's so many questions. You know what I mean? And it's so good to hear your journey and your whole experience, and I'm sure everyone can that's listening can relate. But I just wanted to ask also, if you don't mind, like what does the future hold for TC or for Helarius? What does the future hold? Where do you what do you I know you said Crusaders, obviously, but as a Namibian rugby player, where do you see yourself like in the future? If you weren't playing rugby, what would you be doing? But if you're still carrying on, where do you see yourself as a Namibian international?
Ryan, at the like, let me just in a career, and then after, if you didn't play rugby, I'll answer it. Like, secondly, I think like
Okay.
I'm in my career, I'm not like trying to look that much into the future because like I have a contract with this club till end of next year. So I'm just like I'm grateful for
Hmm.
this moment that I have here, and I'm just like trying to be present and make the best of what I have now, and I think if I just do my best now and just be a good guy, be a good player, or be the best I can be, I
Mm.
think the
Mm.
future will take care of itself. Like I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
If I just if I tick my boxes and do the right stuff now, just being present here, I think if the right people are gonna see me, they eventually gonna offer me something or whatever it is. So I'm just at the moment, career wise, I'm just like trying to focus to be present, and obviously I'm really grateful for this moment. So I'm just trying to be here and just be the best I can be.
Mm. Mm.
And
Very
life
good.
after rugby,
Very good.
life after
Mm.
rugby. I've studied accounting. I've studied 2 years into my degree, but I dropped
Okay.
out of my accounting degree like halfway because of rugby, obviously.
Right.
you know,
Right.
because of rugby. so 2016, there was a club that called me. I think it was Iași in Romania. So 2016, they called me, I think beginning of 2016. So what happens at the university is like, you have to cancel your studies in a certain time, then you don't have to cover the whole tuition fees, then you only like cover like a half, whatever it is. So I was like, okay, let me not stress about this.
Right.
Let me just cancel the whole year, and then I'm going for rugby. And so I was waiting for them to give me like a heads up. I mean, you can come now, whatever it is. And just after I canceled my studies, a month after, they were like, no, we cannot have you anymore. I mean, we don't have any more funds. And I was like,
wow,
yo, where do I go? What do I do? So I kind of regret that, but I'm planning on getting back into my studies and just finishing it. And obviously, I mean, that's something I want to fall back on, like my studies, like getting back into it and have something on my name.
Yeah, good. Thanks for for sharing that, because man, at the end of the day, obviously we know, it's good to have something to fall back on. Whatever you find yourself. I always say, if you're passionate about something, find out what's your gift. Be passionate about your gift. You know what I mean? And then, like you said, everything will take care of itself, because you do find yourself, if on different journeys, different phases. But like you said, it comes down to, I would say, identify your gift and be passionate about it. But Helarius, man, I'm gonna start wrapping up. I just wanted to say to everyone, please give us a thumbs up. All right, this has been an amazing chat. Okay, I'm having so much fun, man, and like I said, you've been giving us already so much of your time, and I'm not going to keep you any longer. Everyone else as well, please take time out as well, like this video afterwards and share it again. And I'm just going to touch on three questions that I've pulled off from Instagram. The first one is from Conrad Barnes, asking your dream team to play for. So that's kind of like what I asked before, like you said,
before.
That's your dream team. So I think
Crusaders,
the second one was from Luca, asking biggest sacrifice you made for your rugby career. What's the biggest sacrifice you made?
So
or you feel
I don't know if you I don't know if you remember, but like previously I said I had a baby coming on the way. Or I have a son. Yes, I have a son.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's a time, I think it was in my Currie Cup career, I think, after I just called up for a Currie Cup, I had a son coming like on the way. So I was only playing rugby, but then I couldn't like just play rugby, so I started working. So I started playing I started working and playing rugby at the same time, and I think that's the period of time whereby I just started slacking as a player. Like I wasn't, not that I'm not good enough, but I wasn't just focused. I had like baby on board, working and like playing at the same time and stuff like that. So and then after the baby was born, like 3 months, like he was literally 3 months old, and I was working, and I got a call like to go to Lactonians for 6 months, and that's what caused me to go overseas, and that's not really something I'm like proud of, like to say it, like I sacrificed my little boy, but like it cost me that much, and if I could choose, definitely now I would have stayed and just do things a little bit different,
Is this now?
Do the things a little bit different.
Was this in England?
Yeah, that was in England.
Yeah. And what level were they? At?
Lactonians, I think, was net 3. Yeah,
was it down south?
Lactonians were playing net 3. Yeah.
Right. That's pretty still good. I think I didn't realize that you actually played in England. And you're saying you feel that's your biggest regret, because obviously your boy was obviously young, and like, I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy. I know I've got 3 children. Oh, man, and they're handful.
Yeah, that's
I'm telling you, it's kind of like I think the youngest one is more hands, being a handful like the other two. But wow, I can relate to that, certainly do. Next one would be, last one would be, thank you for sharing that though. What's the best thing about playing in Romania? What's the best thing about playing in Romania?
Ah, man, I think it's like the whole thing like that makes Romania fun or playing here is the culture and the way we do things, or the way, I mean, I'm here, so we the way we do things here is, I think we have this funny culture here in the team, is that whereby we do, like, we do skills, and if you knock on the ball, you have to do the same amount of your age, like push-ups and stuff like that. So
Okay, okay.
so you have to do like the same as your age, and
Sheesh.
then so before the season start, we played like a warm-up game, but like against each other. So it's kind of like a bad trade, if you have to look at it that way. So we were playing this warm-up game, and into the game, like, this guy makes this bad pass, and he's like doing push-ups immediately, and I'm like, yo, get up. Get up, bro. Get up. What are you doing? What's happening here? We have to move
Seriously.
on.
Oh my
So
goodness.
it's really fun. Like, the guys are
It's a
amazing.
learning
Like,
curve,
really,
isn't it?
yeah, the
Yeah.
guys are really amazing. They
No.
actually try to make us feel home. Like, we have several foreign players here, like from Fiji, Tonga, Australia,
Oh,
South Africa. So they really try hard to make us feel home, and just enjoy our
home.
moments here and stuff like that. So
Very cool. Very cool. No,
yeah,
that's man. As long as you're happy, do you know what I mean? You're happy,
yeah,
and you love what you're doing. It comes with the territory, but new challenges every day. But you love what you're doing, and you speak passionate about it. I was gonna say one more thing. Is there any words of encouragement from you to everyone out there, especially youngsters in Namibia, that you would like to give them? 2 or 3 points, anything.
and what I would say is that, actually, the way I look at this pandemic, like, especially from a Namibian side, is that we, as like young players, we have a chance to match the best. Like, we will never catch up to them in a short period of time, like, but we can match them. So all I want to ask is, like, to the boys back home, is like, what are you doing as a player? Like, what are you doing? Usually we just complain about,
Gee,
I didn't get selected, blah blah blah. But like, what are you doing actually? Like, what have you been doing? It's 6 months, no running, no nothing. What have you been doing as a player to be eligible to be selected? Like, if
mm,
things eventually like start, do you think you're ready? Do you think you have been prepared? Do you think you have what
mm,
it takes? So we just stop playing the blaming game and stuff
mm,
like that, and just start doing something. That's what I'm saying. Like, if we can actually, there's not much you can do right now, but like, if you can at least work on yourself physically, there's not much the coaches need to do
mm,
when we get together. So then we
mm,
have more time to work on the structures or set pieces or
mm,
whatever it is. So
mm.
all I can say is, like, what are you doing to be a better player tomorrow? So
Very
stop
good.
playing the blame game, and just get up and do something for yourself. I mean, it's for yourself. You're
Complain,
gonna be in
yeah.
a good shape, a
Very
better
good.
shape, six pack, whatever it is. So
Mm,
yeah,
mm. Very good. Very good. Very good advice. Please, everyone, especially the guys in Namibia, don't wait until the season starts to want to get ready. Get ready and stay ready. That's what the words was, I think, from Damien or was it Chewy? Get ready and stay ready. I mean, Sergio was there, at the union. He's been, he can, because of everything going on, they're quite limited. But
yeah,
he's been sharing work programs and everything, hit workouts that people can do to just to be at least at a level, like you said, physically. Then everything else will be
yeah.
easier. But that's very good advice. Absolutely brilliant. You know what, Hilarious man, I just want to take a second once again to say, I wish you all the best for the rest of the season, and we should do this again. We should do this again, man. You've been an absolute fantastic character. I've had so much fun, and I want to say thank you. And I want to say thank you to everyone who's taken time out to come and join us on this live and liking his highlights. Please share the highlights. Hopefully, we can show the whole world, all the way from Namibia. Right? New doors will open up, and I'm pretty sure, you keep reaching your goals. But please take care, and I would like to say, please join us again very soon. With the next player, but we won't reveal that.
Thank you so much for having me,
watch
Ryan.
out for more.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Means a lot to me.
No problem. Bless, man. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Stay safe and see you next time. Okay.